What is going on, YouTube? Happy Friday. Well, let me get in frame here. Happy Friday. Welcome to KO Bets. My name is Bill. Hope you all had a good week. Short week with the Labor Day holiday, which was nice. It's nice to have that day off. But it made for a busy rest of the week. So what we got on the agenda for today, we've got to give an NFT update. I got to recap you on UFC Paris. We've got UFC 279 and all the craziness that's going on with that. I got parlays to give you this Sunday. This is a plug. This Sunday, we're going to start the NFL show. So we're going to do NFL picks, go through all the games. I'll give my picks, over-under picks, money line and spread. And then we'll do, I'll do fantasy sit or start, whatever. I'll give that advice. Maybe do some daily fantasy kind of advice. I'm for sure going to do a daily lineup, so maybe I'll just share what I'm doing, what I'm looking for. So we're going to start that on Sunday. And then we'll go over trending topics at the end of today's show. NFT update, we're at 43 subscribers. Upon hitting 50, I'm going to give away a UFC Strike NFT moment. It's from Dapper Labs. It's pretty cool. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys on this stream today. The UFC Strike moment. Maybe we'll flash it up there on the screen to give you an idea of what the giveaway is. And so we're at 43 out of 50. I'll do it at 50, and then we'll do it again at 100, and then at 200, and all the subsequent milestones we'll do a giveaway. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you are subscribed, if you don't mind, like the video. Let's get this distributed to as many people as possible. by playing the algorithm game. Let's go over last week. Fucking amazing. Incredible main event with the heavyweights. Cyril Gane. He got cracked, but he's the best I've seen at the heavyweight division. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of his. Rob Whittaker looks super impressive against Marvin Vettori. Nasruddin looked great. Alessio, he didn't get it done for us. William Gomez. Charles Jourdain, again, that was a tough fight, but Nathaniel Wood won that convincingly. He looked really good in that fight. Abus Magomedov, very impressive KO. I think that's Stolfus' first KO loss of his career. Nasrat, nice performance. I took Michael Fieglock. ZM looked really, really good in that fight. That's something I gotta remember. Like, look at all these French guys winning. And, yeah, Benoit, Fares, Gomez. Is this... I liked on the London card, they just position these matches. I'm not going to say they're, like, gimmies, because there's no gimmies in the UFC, but, it's... Unless it was, like, Nate versus Hamzat. Just kidding. But they do a good job of making sure the hometown fans get what they paid for, and that's great performances by the hometown crowd. So we got to go into this week's event here. We've got 13 fights. It's taking place in Las Vegas. Just an absolute, shit show. I mean, I put this up on the screen just like as a joke, but we've got a shuffling around of the main event, the last 3 fights on this card. Now we have 2 5-round fights. Just an absolutely crazy turn of events. And I love it. I mean, the drama, the noise around this, it's incredible. I think the weigh-ins, I didn't pay attention at the end, but like halfway through the ceremonial weigh-ins, there were like 130,000 live viewers. Just absolutely crazy for the UFC.com, weigh-ins. 130,000 viewers just tuning in live. It was very under control. It was very fine, but yeah, I mean, Hamzat's an interesting cat. Super excited for Tony and Nate. I'm excited to watch Hamzat. I think he's a very exciting fighter. So if you didn't hear, I should recap this because I act like everyone knows what's going on. But if you didn't hear, yesterday the press conference for UFC 279, it got canceled, called off right as it was about to start. Some commotion backstage between several fighters. I heard like Hamzat and Kevin Holland got into it initially, then that was settled, and then Nate's crew came in there, and it's just like, it's stupid. Like, they're bringing both of these guys, Hamzat and Nate, brought like over 30 people each, and it's just like they're intentionally, I don't know, they're just trying to like intimidate and I don't know. I think the UFC probably, you gotta know that's not a good look. That's not a good situation. But yeah, and then Hamzat this morning wasn't able to make weight. The doctors told him to stop cutting weight, and shit got shuffled around in a big time way. Instead of UFC 279, Nate Diaz against Hamzat, we've got Nate Diaz against Ferguson. Hamzat's facing Holland. Li Jingliang is facing Danielle Rodriguez. So pretty incredible storyline to follow. First fight we've got is Darian Weeks taking on Johann Lindesi. Darian Weeks is heading into this fight 0-2 in the UFC. 2 losses where he just kind of got picked apart a little bit in the stand-up. Leg kicks, just staying at bay, staying out of the power range of him. You can see he's got a 100% win rate. Sorry, his win rate is 100% of those fights that he wins are inside the distance. Every time. Every time. Johann Lindesi, he is 0-1 in the UFC. He got knocked out by Gabriel Green. He got gassed out in that fight. He needs to stay within himself, not try and knock Darian Weeks' head off. Otherwise, he's going to gas out, and Darian could start to look really good in this fight. I'm going to go with Johann on this fight for the money line. Probably not going to bet on this one. The reason being, if I do anything, so, wow, Johann's the underdog. If I do anything, I would say the odds makers don't like this one to go the distance. Yeah. The KO is a favorable, so it's a favorable result. Yeah, I would say Darian Weeks has the better gas tank, so maybe there's like a live bet opportunity if Johann does what he does in that he did in the previous fight. If he does that in this fight, there's a good chance Darian Weeks might look really good in that second and third round. I'm gonna say we're rolling with Johann to get it done, and I'm going to say, yeah, I think the fight does not go the distance. I didn't pull up SureDog before, but we should do that. Let's see how Darian Weeks has lost. 2 decision losses. Wow, Ian Gary and Brian Barberena, that's right. Wow, so yeah, Johann's going to have to definitely keep up I don't know. He can't gas out like he did the last fight. He's going to be in trouble. He's very good, very technical, but he's got to stay on the outside. I'm rolling with Johann on that pick. But probably not betting. By the way, my Twitter is up in the up in this corner, if you can see my mouse of the screen. If you want to follow me, I always post my picks. I'll either do it tonight or tomorrow. Just like units and what I like. Usually I do round robin pick, money line picks, and then a few parlays I toss out there. So the next fight we've got Melissa Martinez taking on Elise Reed. Melissa Martinez 7-0, making her UFC debut. Elise Reed, she is 1-2 in the UFC. So Melissa Martinez making her debut. She appears to be a very good striker, very good kicker. She can push the pace. I don't know if they're going to have any stats on her, but yeah, very good striker. You can see. I mean, she's 7-0, so she's won her 2 decisions and KO'd everyone else. I don't think she's going to necessarily KO Elise Reed, but I think she stands a good shot to beat Elise. Elise Reed, her best chance, I think, at winning this fight would be to grapple, and that's not her style at all. She's going to throw strikes as well. And I think she's just going to lose the striking battle against Melissa Martinez. Looking at the matchup stats, Melissa Martinez also has a little bit of a reach advantage. So I'm rolling with Melissa Martinez in this fight. She is the favorite at minus 175. Elise Reed is at plus 150. I would say the odds makers like this one to go the distance. Yes, if we're looking at our two, if we're looking at Elise Reed, her 2 losses are KO losses. Sijara Eubank, Sam Hughes. So, maybe that's a little bit risky, just considering she's facing another striker here who has a 71% knockout percentage. Am I saying this? Am I saying there's a possibility Melissa Martinez wins this via KO? Plus 350? I don't think so, but when did those KOs occur? Melissa Martinez. Yeah, wow. This one just kind of seems like it might end inside the distance, actually. Right? Am I crazy? They both have an extremely high finish rate. Oh, wait. I guess Elise Reed doesn't. Well, she's gotten finished, so I guess that's what I'm seeing. Jasmine. Went over Jasmine. Yeah, I don't know. Elise Reed, I don't think she's very, I'm confident, I think, in the money line pick of Melissa Martinez. As far as the result, I'm personally not gonna chase. I'll probably put Melissa Martinez in my round robin. I'm not gonna mess around with the inside the distance or not. I'll let you. Again, I'll post a pick if I find like a parlay I might like in that fight. But Chad and Annelheiger against Atalahengi. Horrible pronunciation. Haley against Chad. Hailey against Chad. Chad is he's heading into this fight. He's on a significant win streak as a pro, but he's 1-0 in the UFC. Tough, awesome cardio. I think Hailey is heading into this fight. He's definitely got a grappling background, but the dude just likes to strike. He does have that grappling, though, in his back pocket. I would say the gas tank, if we had to consider like cardio in this fight, Chad's going to be better late in this matchup. Hailey, he's going to be most dangerous early. I think if he's not able to finish Chad early, it's going to be a really tough fight for him. If we look at their win-by percentages, well, let's just pull up Chad here. Hailey spends a lot of energy throwing big looping stuff. There's the submission losses for Chad. And then for Hailey, he's a good fighter, but he's on a bit of a win streak, right? 1 fight win streak. Oh, he knocked out Kevin Kroom. He does have the takedown in his back pocket. I think I'm going to roll with the underdog, though. Chad. I think I like Chad's gas tank to come through late in this fight. I think he could easily take rounds 2, rounds 3. Probably a good live bet opportunity if Hailey dominates in that first round and Chad gets out of there. So that's something to keep an eye on. I would say there might be a likelihood that this doesn't go the distance. Like, I kind of like a late knockout for Chad. Plus 650. What do they like for him, potentially? The decision? I'm drinking Busch Light Apple. It's back. Okay. Win and over 1.5. I might sprinkle a little bit on this Chad KO. Plus 650, Chad KO. Just for a general KO in this fight is plus 190. KO. I think someone could get finished in this. Hailey. Yeah, he's a strong puncher, and I think if he wins, you should be looking for that finish. Like something, you could even chase it in the form of just sprinkling a little bit less to win more. Round 1 plus 475, plus 275. I don't know, just a thought. Next fight, we've got Norma Dumont taking on Danielle Wolfe. Norma Dumont, she's heading into this fight on a 1-fight losing streak. Danielle Wolfe, 1-0 professionally. She's 39. She's making her UFC debut. She comes from Dana White's Contender Series. Boxer, Muay Thai. Gym is where she trains out of, but a boxer. Good striker, but I think there's a clear path to victory for Norma Dumont in this, and that's just to use a grappling advantage to take her opponent down, get her to the ground, and just hold her down there. Maybe search for a submission, but yeah, I think that's the path to victory. I like Norma Dumont in this. She is the heavy favorite. I mean, let's look at Norma Dumont's fight history here. She's got 2 submission wins. She has been knocked out by Megan Anderson, which, Megan Anderson stylistically is, I mean, she's good, but if Danielle Wolfe is a really good boxer, Norma Dumont should especially just want to grapple in this fight. So I got Norma. I think she could win via submission if she gets Wolfe to the ground. I don't see any reason why she couldn't get the submission at plus 275. If we're looking at submission or decision for Norma Dumont, that's minus 280. So just some ideas. She could get a ground and pound stoppage. That's always a possibility if she's taking her down, but maybe Danielle Wolfe just gives up her back, trying to get back to the feet, and rear naked choke. Late round one. Jake Collier taking on Chris Barnett. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't love this fight. I think the heavyweight division is there's some great talent. There's some great fighters for sure. No doubt about it. There's some great fighters in the division, but like the depth of it is like crazy. So I think Jake Collier, he's heading into this fight. He's on a 1-fight losing streak. He lost to Arlovsky. Had 2 good performances in a row. He arguably beat Andre. Heavy striker, good wrestler. He's taking on Chris Barnett, who had the highlight against Jan Vellante, but otherwise, in my opinion, just hasn't shown much thus far in the UFC. Huge knockout prowess if he's getting a victory, but I think Jake probably has this fight fairly. I think he has it fairly easily. I think the path to victory is just getting out of the first round. Barnett tends to fade, get tired. We saw it, even though it was an illegal shot, we saw it against Boudier. He was just tired. So I think the path to victory is just like staying out of harm's way in round 1, and then, you know, maybe getting some takedowns to wear on him early, and eventually, who knows, maybe he chokes him out. Let's check some of this stuff. Jake has 4 submission wins. Chase Sherman. Yeah, that's right. Right, he got Chase. So round 1 chokeout. And then we've got Chris Barnett. Ben Rothwell submitted him. If Ben Rothwell's doing it, I think there's a chance that Jake could do it. When did Rothwell get his choke off? Round 2? I wonder. So Jake is now minus 450. That's who I'm rolling with in this fight. I would say the fight, I kind of like the submission. Plus 475 for Jake. Is that stupid? Why is it the one with the... Why does Vegas not like that? I mean, he does hit hard. But I think he possesses a better ground game than Rothwell. I don't know, kind of a confusing result. Like, why wouldn't the submission be even in play? And the odds makers do like it to end inside the distance, but just barely. Yeah, I'm going to roll with Jake on my money line pick, and then maybe I kind of like the submission. I kind of like the submission prowess of Jake, so I'm thinking like Norma could get a submission, Jake could get a submission. I think Chad could get the knockout. Kind of uncertain about these first 2. I think they might be decisions. Alright, next fight we've got Dennis Tiuluin. Oh, there's only 2 L's. Tiuluin. Taking on Jamie Pickett. Dennis is in this fight. He is 0-1 in the UFC heading into this. Solid punching power. Just hasn't really shown much else thus far besides really good punching power. Jamie Pickett, he's been a little bit underwhelming, I would say. He's definitely, taken a loss to like Jordan Williams, who's got strong punches and just was able to swarm him. He's heading into this fight on a 1-fight losing streak. He does have, poor takedown defense, but I'm not really all that concerned about Dennis taking him down. I think technically Jamie Pickett probably should win this fight. I think that's who the safe pick is to roll with on the money line, but I'm not gonna bet on him. Yeah, there's just been, what is he in the UFC? He's 2-3 in the UFC. Beat Joseph Holmes. That's not a great win. That's the mustache guy, right? Yeah, beat him. Unanimous decision. Loreno. Njoku, that's a tough win. Kyle Daukaus. I think Kyle Daukaus is pretty good, but yeah, I don't know about round one. Just getting submitted by him good. I'm going to roll with Jamie Pickett on the money line here. If we're taking a look, Jamie Pickett money line is minus 130. Yeah, I mean, gosh. It's an even split. I would say this fight, let's look at their win buys. 8 KO victories, 4 losses inside the distance. 8 KO victories, 4 losses inside the distance. So majority of their fights have ended inside the distance. So I'm going to say it doesn't go the distance. I don't know if that's the thing. I don't know if I love saying Jamie Pickett is going to KO Dennis in this fight. I think he very well could, but I'm saying it's going to end inside the distance. It's likely going to be a KO. But I don't know. I just don't really trust Jamie Pickett to get it done inside the distance. I don't think the submission is in play. That's plus 1,400. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't think that would happen, but I think someone could get knocked out. I think if I wanted to bet the knockout, I would be more comfortable doing it here at like plus 105 for either fighter. But just to take Jamie via knockout, like, that's kind of tough. I would do, yeah, you don't even do knockout and decision. It's 10 points different. So, rolling with Jamie here. Next fight, we've got Jailton Almeida taking on Anton Turkalj. Jailton Almeida is 16-2. He's been good. He's 2-0 in the UFC. Really solid fight against Parker Porter. Really solid debut. Anton, he is making his UFC debut. This is a weird situation. It's a catch weight, so it's at 220. I think Almeida's gonna be the bigger fighter in this. It's just kind of interesting. It is a catch weight, so I think this is a fight for Jailton to look really good in. Anton is a good grappler. I expect him to come with very good cardio, so maybe he could test Jailton there, but I think Jailton is going to be the heavy favorite with good reason. He's been very good. Very good, very nice. Minus 600. Yeesh. Let's look at the numbers on these guys. Almeida's win by percentage, 6 KO victories, 10 submission victories, all inside the distance. 7 out of Anton's 8 inside the distance, so have to think this isn't going to go the distance. So does Vegas, minus 450. I would say the KO's definitely in play for Jalton. Like, the submission kind of looks like it makes a lot of sense, but if Anton's not, super great on the feet and he's more comfortable in the grappling exchanges, maybe he gets hit clean with something. Let's see the fight lines. They have it at over under 1.5. Yikes. Yeah, I was gonna say if it was over under 2.5, I would like maybe the under 2.5 for sure. I think Almeida could. I think Almeida is going to have this pretty comfortably. Gosh, I just don't know what to pick. As far as the fight parlay, Almeida and under a round and a half is minus 190. Like, maybe I'm sprinkling. I don't even know if I like that. I don't know if there's. I gotta see if I can find something I like to bet on individually for this fight. Otherwise, I'm just stuck like parlaying it with another fight I like, which, as we've discussed, isn't the end of the world if we're taking two fighters I like, and we're, instead of risking $20 and getting back 4, we're risking a little bit less to win more. I'm not saying I'm going to do this Norma, Dumont, Almeida one. Probably got to find a better partner to pair with Jalton, but you get the idea. Next fight, we've got Hakeem Dawodu taking on Julian Erosa. Hakeem Dawodu is coming into this matchup on a 1-fight winning streak. Muay Thai artist. The only thing you ever have to worry about with Hakeem is that output, which actually, as far as strikes landed per minute, that's not bad. Just my opinion. Sometimes he gets turns a little bit too much into a counter striker. He's taking on Julian Erosa. I think this is going to be a really, really good and fun fight. Julian Erosa, he is his nickname is Juicy J. I like that too, Juicy J. From what was it, 3-6 Mafia, something like that. Julian Erosa, though, solid fighter. I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of both these guys. I think this makes for a really entertaining fight for this card. I'm going to give the slight advantage to Hakeem in this fight. I think this fight plays out primarily on the feet. I think Julian Erosa has a significant advantage if this fight does hit the mat. And Julian Erosa is savvy on the feet, but I don't think he can stand and strike with Hakeem. I think his strategy, his path to victory is likely going to be he's got to get this fight to the mat. He's got to he's probably got to get him down more than once. Let's look at Hakeem's losses here. 1 submission loss. That was way back in the day, 2018 to Danny Henry. And then he's faced some, I think Arce is a pretty good submission artist. I mean, if Erosa gets him down, he could get that Darce choke or something like that, but I'm going to roll with Hakeem here. Rolling with Hakeem Dawodu. If I had to choose, I mean, Hakeem's just been, he has been primarily, in my opinion, in the UFC especially, he's just been a decision machine. Look at this, Decision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of his 7 UFC fights, all decisions. 5 out of his 6 wins, all decisions. Erosa does have some KO losses though, right? 5? Yeah. I mean, it's really nothing to scoff at. That's a significant amount of losses. Has faced some tough fighters. Nate Landwehr KOs him with the flying knee. Charles Jourdain gets the Bravo choke. I mean, I'm probably going to avoid this one in the parlays for sure, but I'm rolling with Hakeem. I'm rolling with Hakeem as a decision for the method of victory, plus 140 here. I would say the fight does go the distance, and therefore I think that's another GCJ. Only 4-4 in decisions. Dawodu 6-1. Now we're on to the main card. We've got Johnny Walker taking on Ian Kudovale. Johnny Walker, he's been bad. There's no other way to say it. He's 1-4 in his last 5. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, right? No, 2-fight losing streak. Yeah, he got KO'd badly. The outrageous punch to the forehead KO from Hill. That was a crazy knockout. So he's just been shaky. I highlighted he's 1-4 in his last 5. He's just been kind of shaky. He's been getting knocked out. He was really, really timid against Thiago Santos. Yeah, he's taking on Ian, and I think Ian's definitely got the confidence advantage here. He's also got the grappling advantage. Both of these guys are pretty intense individuals. The face-off, it wasn't as crazy as I anticipated, but it was still, solid. Solid as far as face-offs go. Kudovale, yeah, he's going to have the grappling advantage. He's also going to be most dangerous early, I believe. I think Johnny Walker is a little more dynamic as far as his striking. I think as long as he can stay safe, utilize his kicks, I think he stands a really, really good shot to win this fight. I think this is a good fight. I think this is, solid matchmaking by the UFC. If we're looking at the odds for this fight, I believe Johnny Walker's the heavy underdog. Yeah, plus 175. I remember when I thought this dude was gonna maybe come up and challenge Sean Jones, and he's really talented, He's still young, definitely stands a good opportunity to work his way back up to the top 10. But for now he's fighting Kudovale. I think he can do it. I think he can win. I think as far as what the odds makers like, do they like this fight to go the distance? No. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I would say the KO is most likely for both fighters. I think it might be fun to do like is there round general KO? KO round 1. That's only plus 110. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm rolling with Johnny on the money line here. I think he does it via KO. I think he's able to knock out Ian. Maybe like round 2, I'm gonna say like 3 or 4 minutes into it, Johnny's able to put away Ian. Round 2, so 8 or 9 minute mark. The next fight, we've got Irene Aldana taking on Macy Chiasson. Macy, always solid, physical advantage as far as height. Oh, by the way, that's another reason I like Johnny Walker. Just like, kind of does have, the physical tools to really make things difficult for Kudovale. But going to Macy Chiasson, very tall, isn't so much of a striker. Definitely likes to grapple, likes to wrestle. She's taking on Irene Aldana, who is a terrific boxer. I think if we're looking at their win-by percentages, yeah, she's got a respectable KO ability. Let's pull up their win-bys. I'm thinking Irene Aldana is gonna comfortably win this fight. I don't know if she's gonna be able to finish Macy Chiasson. Macy doesn't have any knockout losses, but I think Irene Aldana is gonna be I think she's gonna be pretty good against Macy Chiasson. And she'll be able to win this fight on the feet. Very solid takedown defense. If I show the grappling here, 84% solid takedown defense. I think she can, as long as she can keep this fight standing, keep in the center of the octagon, keep moving around, not getting pushed up against the cage, I think she's going to fare very well in this fight. The next fight, we're finally getting into this, shuffling of events here. We've got Jingliang taking on Danielle Rodriguez. This was originally slotted to be Kevin Holland against Danielle Rodriguez. Lee stepping up here to go to one. Was this a catchweight at like 180? Or not a catchweight. There was something weird about this, right? Like I think Lee's going up in weight to fight Danielle. Or Danielle came in like 10 pounds heavier than Lee, but I would say there's things to like about Lee, for sure. Great grappler. Solid output. But I think his path to victory against Danielle Rodriguez has got to be the takedowns. He's got to be drilling those takedowns. If he's not getting those takedowns, Danielle Rodriguez is going to look pretty good boxing, in my opinion. I think this is a more favorable matchup than what Rodriguez had before. I think facing a difficult striker in Kevin Holland would have presented, some issues for Danielle Rodriguez. I don't hate on anyone taking the Li Jingliang pick, and they should update some other stuff in here. But I just think Danielle Rodriguez makes a lot of sense in this fight. Sorry to the leech, but I just think I think it does. He's very strong for sure. Explosive. Let's see, Danielle. High finish rate, huh? Very high finish rate in his own right. Maybe we like the knockout or something inside the distance in this fight. Under 2.5 is plus 125. I mean, I think it could be interesting. I think it's gonna be a very good fight. I'm gonna roll with Daniel Rodriguez to win via decision. But I think there's if you like Lee, it's gonna be inside the distance, and I think there's a chance Lee could get. He's not getting submitted. There's no way. But maybe he gets caught. Daniel Rodriguez is going to be, in my opinion, the more technical boxer. Maybe Lee gets tired in this fight and Daniel gets him late, but I kind of like the Daniel decision. The next fight, we've got Khamzat Chimaev taking on Kevin Holland. I was just checking the poll there. I had a question in the poll about the main event. Khamzat Chimaev 11-0. Kevin Holland 23-7. We know the situation. Khamzat a little overweight, 7 pounds overweight. Nate ends up. I don't know what ended up happening. I shouldn't speak for anyone. So stuff gets shuffled around. Khamzat, who had problems with Kevin Holland, reportedly in yesterday's brawl, they're now fighting each other. They get to settle the score in the octagon. It's a 5-round fight, which Khamzat was training for. Kevin Holland wasn't. I don't think this is a good matchup at all for Kevin Holland. If we thought that the Nate matchup was bad, if he thought that matchup was bad, I think this matchup is arguably worse. Kevin Holland is just so inefficient on the mat. I think it's likely this fight ends for sure inside the distance. I could see the submission victory. I don't know. Khamzat's just a little bit crazy right now to me, and I don't know. Money line, sure. Fine. Very good. What would Khamzat and Jiaotin be together? Minus 278. Yikes. But I think if Khamzat was minus 1,000. Yeah, did we see him get, hit against Gilbert? Sure. But I'm pretty sure he had taken down Gilbert at least once before that strike, got off. And maybe knocked him down too and had him stumbled and hurt, that was just I don't really see where Kevin Holland's gonna, be great in this fight unless he, he's always got a puncher's chance, but I think he'd have to get off something a little bit fluky like Jorge's knee versus Askren or, something like that. Maybe hit him with something straight down the pipe to start the match. Maybe Khamzat gets lured into a striking fight against Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland would probably look pretty good in that case. Really good measurables for Kevin, right? 81 inches against 75. But I like Hamzat in this. I got to go with Hamzat on the money line. I got to go with something inside the distance. I'll probably do submission whenever that gets updated in here. So just, again, up in the corner. Oh, so it's down here. There we go. Down here. You can see my Twitter handle. I'll post my picks tomorrow as soon as this gets updated. The next fight, we've got Nate Diaz taking on Tony Ferguson. Great matchup. Great piece of matchmaking. Where we're featuring it appropriate for this lineup. You know, it just speaks to the star power of Nate Diaz. He really can put together a great card. You know, all the drama that surrounded this week's events. Like I said, there were 130. Like, that was when we were, like, facing off Dennis and Jamie, or maybe Collier and Chris Barnett. It was like 130,000 people tuned in on YouTube Live. It was pretty crazy. So, just speaks to the star power of Nate Diaz. Just obviously terrific pull, terrific ability to sell a fight, and a lot of people have, you know, profited off of his name. He's profited off of other people's names. But he's an OG. It might be his last fight in the UFC. Great. I look at both of these guys, and they're just like, they're both great in their own rights. I would say Tony Ferguson, like the prime Tony Ferguson, was arguably better than, you know, prime Nate. I think Tony Ferguson now he's going to be my pick for tomorrow's fight. I think if I'm considering Nate, it's, you know, maybe he's able to lock up some sort of jiu-jitsu move against Tony Ferguson. Maybe his jiu-jitsu is far superior to Tony's, but I feel like for the most part this fight's going to play out on the feet. And I think with it playing out on the feet, I think Tony Ferguson and Nate do a lot of the same things. You know, they weaponize cardio. They're both super, super good, you know, as far as their boxing goes. They're very good. But the cardio's always been super impressive with these two fighters. I would say I think Tony's just going to be more efficient on the feet, do a little more damage. He's known for the elbows. Nate gets cut up pretty easily, and, you know, I think it'll... And Tony gets cut up too sometimes, but, you know, I think he looked good against Chandler prior to getting knocked out. This is a step up in weight against a slightly taller fighter, but I think Tony can handle it. So I think he was the favorite. He still is minus 125. I think you gotta like... I think we might just get like a 5-round war. In all honesty, I think we might get a 5-round war. I think there might be times when Nate looks really strong, but I think for the most part Tony's going to be pretty smart, and I think he's going to hurt Nate a few times. Man, I think this is where Tony gets back on track, gets back to winning. But, you know, just an awesome matchup. Super happy either way this fight goes. I'd say Tony wins and it's over, you know. It's a decision. I do think we get some sort of battle in this fight. Sorry about that. So, yeah, that goes through our UFC 279 picks. I got to talk about some parlays I like, I suppose. Sorry, this beer has me very belchy. Darian Weeks, no, sorry. I like Chad. I think Chad's a solid pick against Hailey. I think he's a solid pick. I think he's a tough matchup for Alatang. I like Norma Dumont. I like Jake. I would say I like Chad, Jake, Norma. There is that mystery factor with Wolfe, but I think with a good game plan, she warrants those odds there. Jalton, like a lot. I'm going to throw in Johnny Walker in there. I think he's got the potential to win. I like Irene, Aldana. I like Hamzat. And I like Tony. The other fights, maybe a little bit too close for me to be putting them, just the money line, the money line picks into parlays and round robins. But I mean, fights I'm looking to anchor around are, I guess, like Jalton, which is rough, Hamzat, which is rough, and then if we're taking the next worst odd fighter, it's minus 147. But you tossed in like a Chad there, and it looks pretty good. A Johnny Walker looks pretty good. I don't know. I'll for sure post my picks in the morning when some of these lines update and we get the prop bets. Yeah, so on Sunday we're gonna for sure do the what am I trying to say? I'm gonna just expand this out so we can see it a little bit more. Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time, I'm gonna do the football show, so that should be a good time. So trending for me, let's just do trending. SmackDown. The first trailer for the new Little Mermaid shows off Halle Bailey's Ariel. Okay, let's move on from this. But they're doing a live action Little Mermaid, I think. Francis Tiafoe. US Open right now. I saw like Brad Beal or someone cheering him on. CNN is currently doing a panel discussion about if Biden should invite Trump to the Queen's funeral. Jake Chapper said it would be clever for Biden to do it. Does Biden... I mean, I suppose Biden could invite Trump. I don't know. It's kind of weird. UFC 279. The show must go on. One more sleep. Whatever that means. Let's see what else is going on. U.S. elections. News. Sports. Why is Jesse Smollett trending? Okay, cool. Kind of a boring, I mean, super exciting, obviously, day for the UFC, for the promotion, but appears to be kind of a boring day on the internet, in my opinion. So, we've been going for a little while here, a little over an hour. I think we're gonna sign off. I appreciate you tuning in. If you wouldn't mind, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. For sure, check out my Twitter page, which is now up here. You see it? See it up here? So tune into that tomorrow. I'll give you my picks tomorrow. Otherwise, have a great rest of your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday. I'll see you all on Sunday. This is Bill. I'm signing off with KO Bets. Peace.